What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kay back with your girl D, and we are here for another Reddit video of some of my favorite Am I the Asshole stories that I've found lately. How are you doing, D?
I'm good. I know you found two stories.
I found like 4 actually, just so I had options. I'm always prepared.
Okay, cool. And obviously you know the stories. I don't know the stories, so you'll be seeing my live reaction. But yeah, I'm feeling good. We about to hit the gym after this. We had a really busy day. File your taxes, yo. We are doing that as we speak. So yeah, been a really busy day.
It has.
Yeah. Let's get into this video because I know these stories might be long.
This is the second video that we've done like this. So if you're just tuning in now, if you're new here, thank you for coming. Welcome. For those who have been here already, nice to see you again. We're so glad that you could join us. And we're just excited to share space with you all today as we get into these stories.
Yeah, and shout out to us getting to 400 subscribers. I was gonna say 400K. Shoot,
Well, almost.
soon. But that's a really big milestone. We've been doing this for 3 months. I've been on the channel for 3 months. You've had the channel for 2 years, but
I am super excited that we can get into this. So without further ado, let's hop in.
Cheers. We don't have wine today. We have water because
we're going to the gym.
Gym time. ASMR.
I know, right? Let's start with
start with the most juiciest story.
The juiciest.
Yeah, let's get these viewers engaged. Let's have an open dialogue in the comments below. Let us know what y'all think, because I know these stories be stressing me out.
Okay, I don't know if it's necessarily the juiciest, but like, let's get into it.
Cool.
Okay, so this story is called Am I the Asshole for Wanting My Own Room? I, 24 female, and my fiance, 25 male, are moving into a small 3-bedroom house together in a couple of months. I had never had my own room growing up and share a room with a roommate in my current living situation to save up money. I always felt the need to share and feel guilty that I wanted to be alone in my room, but couldn't since someone else was there. The only time I had a room all to myself was when my roommate or sibling was away. Even so
to just cut that, she's 24 and he's 25. They're fiancés.
Yes, they're fiancés.
And they're moving into a small
three-bedroom small house.
Okay, cool.
So the only time she said I had a room all to myself was when my roommate or sibling was away. Even so, I didn't feel like I truly had a room to myself. I feel like that's understandable. When discussing the use for one of the spare rooms in our soon-to-be house, I mentioned wanting to turn it into a bedroom for myself when I want to be alone. My fiance was confused and said he wanted to use the spare room for an at-home gym instead. The other spare room will be an office for when my fiance needs to work from home. I argued that he already has a claim over one of the spare rooms and I should be allowed to use the other one for myself. I told him that I was looking forward to having a space all to myself where I can be alone when I want and am the only person that has access to. He argued that the point of moving in together was to share everything with each other and not just coexist in the same space. He said he would change his mind on wanting a gym if we agreed to turn the second room into a guest bedroom that both of us can use when we want to be in our own space. I feel like I would still be sharing. If I have a room to myself to use and he wants to be alone at times, I can just go into my own room and give him the space he wants. We would be splitting expenses 50-50, so I don't think I'm being that unreasonable. Am I the asshole for wanting to have my own room?
Okay, what are your thoughts on this?
I feel like she should be able to have her own room.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes sense. Like, if he has a whole office,
there you go.
Why couldn't he convert a little corner of the office into a little workout space or go work out in the garage? Or like, I don't know where they live, if they have a basement. Not all homes have a basement, but like,
get a gym membership.
Mate, you can make it work. Just give her her own room, especially with her reasoning. I think it's more than fair. It's a good 100%. Compromise.
I mean, like, you nailed it. If homeboy has his office already she should be entitled to have her own space, and converting it into a guest bedroom that they both share is not reasonable because it's both of theirs. So yeah, like she wants to decorate, do her own thing, have her own time, same way he wants or wanted to have his own time in his home gym, and he'll be having his own time in his own office. So then they're splitting the bills 50-50. Come
Exactly.
on, girl, you don't even have to ask.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
your room.
Yeah.
That's your room.
I don't think that she should have to beg and plead for that.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about this before. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when we get to that space where we're buying a home, like
Mhm.
you want your own room, I want my own room,
100%.
and that's just, you know, for professional stuff and just to be able to have our own zone. I
Have
think.
you ever heard of I don't know where I heard this, but maybe I had like an open dialogue with my friends a couple years back, and I think one of my friends were like, when she gets married and has a house, and let's say the house that is on the property is big enough to build like another, like, I guess, pool house or guest house, that she would convert that spare house or guest house into a house for herself.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. It's become a thing where women do it with sheds. They'll put a shed in the backyard and they'll call it a she shed.
Girl, wow.
So they just have their own little space.
That's
right?
definitely Kay's type of vibe. You would definitely
A she shed?
a Kay's corner shed.
Yeah, no, for real. Because it's like, I mean, typically in that situation, I think the dude will have like a man cave. So it's like, why can't homegirl have a space for herself?
I mean,
too?
like, I think it's OD if you have like your own separate house on like the same property. Like, that's, if we have spare rooms and a basement and, you know, enough rooms where you can have your own space, I think that's fine. I don't think you need to go across the field to go into your other, you know, but hey, to each their own. If we're at that place where like, and dude, she has like a lot of art stuff and flowers everywhere, maybe a K shed is definitely needed.
Yeah,
Maybe
it would be a like a art space.
studio. Yeah. We even talk about it now, right? Like, where we would want to. We don't live in the city, but I like, you know, having one foot in, one foot out. And we agreed that eventually we're gonna get a studio downtown, for Kay and possibly for myself. I don't need much space, but where you can have your own like office space,
Take photos,
Yeah.
videos. But it is important to have your own space.
100%.
Like, at the end of the day, as a relationship, we're two individuals that have come together, and you still have to allow space for them to be individuals. So
for sure,
I say let homegirl have her
girl,
room.
you do
It's
your
just,
thing.
and she's never had a room.
That's crazy.
Yo, do y'all remember how excited, and maybe you can talk about this too, it's like decorating your room for the first time?
Yeah, I felt like that when I like went to college, having my own like dorm, even though I was like sharing, but having my own apartment when I first got my first place, dude, I had a whole canvas to play with. So
yeah, and it makes a big difference. Like, even when you have your own space and like you do something as simple as like move furniture around, and then it feels like brand new.
You put your bed on an angle.
She's never experienced that before. She's always like had to split the room with someone else, and you can't really just like unwind and be yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
good luck, girl, but you're not the asshole.
You're not the asshole for sure. He's kind of the asshole.
Let us know if you all agree down low. Again, let's have conversation in the comments below.
Agreed, because we're on Sis's side.
Yeah.
All right. Next story.
Come on, hit us with some juice, girl.
So this is from another subreddit called Petty Revenge. I just like this story, so I wanted to read it for you to see what you thought. Okay? So the story's called What's Your Name Again? Names change to protect the innocent and the very, very stupid. Many moons ago, I worked at a now defunct convenience store / gas station in the Midwest. I was initially a bit resistant to take a job at a convenience store because it was just the sort of place that you always hear about getting robbed. However, it was new, brightly lit, clean, and on a very busy road. Also, I needed a second job pronto because university is expensive and a girl's gotta eat. Ramen and peanut butter only go so far. We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
After I started working there, I quickly realized that my worries about being robbed were probably unfounded, as my store was somehow the meeting for all of the police. The local city cops, the county sheriff, and even detectives all wandered into my store multiple times a day. They would stand around and chat with the staff or just stop in for a snack or drink on the way to work. This comes into play later. So while I didn't have to worry about robbers, I actually kind of enjoyed the job. There was one major annoyance. I got along well with all of the employees, but one. His name was Branson.
Oh no, Branson.
Branson was in his early 20s, fairly well spoken and intelligent, but wouldn't you know it, he just knew everything.
Branson, man.
We all know
We
someone
all
like
know-
Branson
we all
too.
know Branson.
Since he knew everything, it was obvious that the Lord Almighty had put him on the earth to tell everyone else about everything. No matter what you were talking about, he knew more and better than you, even on matters involving your own history. You wouldn't think that that was possible, but by God, he had an opinion about the cafeteria in the hospital my mother worked in when I was a child. Brackets, not a joke. He really did. Branson. While he wasn't the first know-it-all I'd met, he had an even more annoying personality trait. Branson was a tattletale.
Oh, he's an op. He's a snitch. Branson just sounds like a Karen, you know?
Yeah,
like
you
that
want to trip
name.
him.
The name Branson just it's irritating, you know?
Yeah.
That's our new thing. Like if someone
they're being a Branson.
Branson.
But it's like also like they changed the name of the real Branson to protect Branson, but they picked the perfect name because Branson's still Branson.
We have names for like certain people. We're adding Branson to our yeah.
So anyway, Branson was a tattletale. You didn't stock the coolers before he got there? Tattle. Didn't clean the bathrooms before he came in? Tattle. Didn't make more coffee?
Tattle.
No matter how minor or downright wrong he was, he just had to run and tell management. As such, they were just as annoyed by him as the lowly cashiers. Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. Imagine everyone's sick of this.
Yeah, everyone's. But like, you need a Branson to work for you.
I guess
you have. There's always one Branson at every workplace.
That's true.
And they kind of like they can't get rid of Branson because Branson's holding it down. Branson has all eyes.
I'm over it.
But before you go on, like, question to you and to the viewers, like, I don't understand why people go so hard for corporations and
that
like,
they don't own,
like Walmart or to be like one that would really irritate me would be like the TTC, which is like the public transit. Like the TTC drivers would like get on you back in the day if you were like 10 cents short. I'm like, dude, like,
or at McDonald's if you're asking for like an extra
plum sauce,
and they'd be like
25 cents, like, bro,
just throw it in the bag.
Like what is it gonna do? Like, you're still leaving with a paycheck. I don't get it.
I chalk it up to like finding pride in your identity and like your occupation, because maybe you don't have anything else that feels.
I don't know. If I worked at McDonald's and I died tomorrow, McDonald's don't care about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
not everyone is woke to that though.
Yeah, we definitely have that like self-employed mindset.
But Branson does not.
Yeah, Branson is. I know Branson has his shirt tucked in and shit, like uniform pressed. Everything is.
I was picturing him a little unkept, but like
for real.
But like critical of everyone else in a weird way.
I don't know if you remember when we went. It's crazy. I'm wearing the hat, but when we went here, and the guy checking out the hats.
Yeah.
Remember how he looked?
Yeah.
Like that's a Branson. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, that was a Branson.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like, a very Branson store too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a very Branson store. But that is how I picture Branson.
Okay,
like
that's a good call.
Like,
I can see that. No matter how minor or downright wrong he was, he just had to run and tell management. As such, they were just as annoyed by him as the lowly cashiers. Once, he almost got me fired by telling the managers that I allowed one of my friends to steal from the store. Luckily, we were absolutely lousy with cameras. So after a few minutes of desperate pleading for the manager to check the CCTV footage, they discovered that Branson was, in fact, full of it, not lying for his own amusement.
So wait, what? So did they get caught or like he...
Yeah, he was basically... It says they discovered that Branson was, in fact, full of it, if not lying for his own amusement. He's just being... When it was proved he was wrong, did he apologize? Of course not. He was never wrong in all of his lifelong days because he, of course, knew everything. I was, as they say, not remotely fond of Branson. This is where it gets good. One day, the store was filled with law enforcement, as per usual, 2 sheriffs and 4 or 5 local city cops. It was at shift change over, and me and my coworker. It was a shift change over, and me and my coworker were ready to hand off our shift to Branson. There were no other customers, so we were all standing around talking and just enjoying the banter. It just so happened that the sheriff supervisor was there, and his name was Bucky. Bucky was a good old boy, salt of the earth, and one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. He'd give you the shirt off his back if he thought you looked a bit chilly. Now, while I was chatting with some of the other boys in blue, Bucky was talking to Branson. I wasn't entirely listening to their conversation until it started to go a bit pear-shaped. Bucky was talking about something, and Branson, in his usual way, just had to start arguing with him that he was wrong because Branson just knew that it was X instead of Y. Then he took it a step further and suggested that as a lawman, Bucky didn't have the schooling that Branson did, and it was only natural that Branson would know more about the subject. Bucky just smiled, and rather than argue, he removed himself from the conversation and walked around the counter to the other side. He caught my eye and motioned me over. He then asked me what Branson's last name was. Not seeing any reason not to, I told him. He thanked me and drifted off into the store. I honestly didn't think anything more of it, and I went back to my conversation with the others. After a few minutes, Bucky walked up with a vaguely puzzled look on his face and asked Branson, "Hey buddy, what was your name again?" Branson, sounding a little annoyed and as if he were schooling a child, answered him. Again, Bucky walked back off into the store. When Bucky returned, he had a big old grin on his face. He motioned Branson to come to him from behind the counter and said, "Your last name was Branson, insert last name, right?" Branson confirmed it was, and Bucky's grin widened further as he reached for the handcuffs on his belt. "I am so happy to hear that because there's a warrant out for your arrest, I'm going to have to take you in. I'm going to need you to turn around for me and put your hands behind your back." At that, all of the conversation died entirely. I exchanged a well-earned shocked Pikachu face with my coworker. The shocked expressions on our faces melted away into absolute delight as our most annoying coworker was handcuffed and taken out of the store. I never did see Branson again, but Bucky was back later that evening and apologized to me for making me stay late. I told him I didn't mind and it was all worth it for the show. I'd have done it all over again just to see an idiot sabotage himself. Life tip, if you've got a warrant out for your arrest, probably best if you don't annoy a cop. He might just take out his own petty revenge.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you have a warrant, why would you even, like, state your name, you know?
He's bold.
Yeah, pride, and ego.
Branson.
I mean,
a mess.
Yeah, it's not really anything much to say about this one.
We went in on Branson, but I just thought that was a plot twist I wasn't expecting.
I just knew that it was gonna end with Branson getting in trouble because it's, karma.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it was gonna end some sort of way like that.
And we now have our last story.
Oh, hit it.
Okay,
Is
ready?
it a long one?
No, it's not that long.
Okay.
So the last story was posted a year ago, and it's called "My Husband is Obsessed with Destiny's Child and It's Ruining Our Marriage." Last year, my husband discovered Destiny's Child. I don't know how he wasn't aware of them before, but that's beside the point. He obviously didn't have this obsession before we were married. In fact, we have been married for 7 years, and he'd never exhibited any signs of obsessive behavior before this. Now his obsession is taking over both of our lives and costing us a lot of money. He spends all day on eBay bidding on Destiny's Child merch. He is always the highest bidder, so it's very expensive. He is not only subscribed to streaming services so he can listen to them, but he bought a Bluetooth shower speaker so he can listen to them while he bathes. We cannot have one conversation without him saying something like, "This actually reminds me of a Destiny's Child lyric." He spent hours watching YouTube tutorials, learning the choreography from every video. He makes me sit down and watch him dance in front of the TV to make sure his form and timing are perfect. He emails the members often, begging them for a reunion tour. He has also sent them birthday gifts in the mail. I would like to point out that his obsession is not sexual in any way, he just thinks they're really cool. I'm almost to my wit's end, and I feel like I can't escape Destiny's Child and have lost my husband completely to this obsession. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. There's an update to the story. My husband had an MRI yesterday. He reluctantly agreed to it, but because he knew I was absolutely terrified and anxious, he did it. No tumor, thank goodness. Everything was normal. He's finally beginning to understand how seriously I take this and how much of a problem it's become in our marriage. He has agreed to visit a therapist, hoping for the best. Thank you all for your wonderful advice. It means the world.
Wow. Seems like he's going through like a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
First of all, how did you like Destiny's Child a year ago? What? Like, have you been?
I mean, I
younger
get
than that?
it. Like, I get it.
It's the fact my mic just died you off, but it's the fact that he's in front of the TV dancing and like having homegirl sit around and making sure that like he's on time. Like, yeah, he's definitely a fangirl. That's a little alarming. That's kind of
It's just out there.
It's weird. I don't know. And it's not like sexual, right? So
Yeah, my whole thing is like you're emailing the members often. Like, how did you get Beyonce's email?
yeah,
And you're
it's a little
emailing
awkward.
Beyonce
Yeah.
and Kelly and
Sending
Michelle.
them birthday gifts. That's OD, man.
Like, they have lives. Like,
Yeah, that's a little obsessive, man. But I mean, I'm happy he knows, he's aware that it's a problem and he wants to get help. So accountability is the first step, dude. So kudos to you.
yeah, he definitely could have, had a much worse breakdown. So I'm glad that it was at least just that. It was pretty chill.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, what is, I don't know. I was gonna say, who would you be obsessed over? But we already know who you're obsessed with. If y'all know, drop it down low in the comments. Don't tell them.
Okay.
I want to know.
Who am I obsessed with? Absolutely obsessed.
I'll give you all a hint. I personally think that she looks like the person that she's obsessed with. They have similar features, and you agree a little bit, right? People have said it as well. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. But yeah, comment down below. Who do you think Kay is like? I wouldn't say she's obsessed, but I think it's like a deep love. Like you really adore this person.
I really do.
Yeah. Destiny's Child though, like imagine what's the song called? The one where they're in the army outfit? Oh,
Survivor?
Yeah. Imagine Homeboy going crazy, because that was a crazy music video. I'll never forget that.
No, you're right.
That was a crazy one. I'll never forget that.
No,
one.
the choreography I want to see him do is Lose My Breath, where it's like Destiny's Child from like different multi-universes or something, and the whole video is them dance battling another alternate Destiny's Child. I want to see him nail all of that choreo.
Yeah. Sometimes I wish they would leave like at least like an IG. I mean, like, you can't do it. There's no way.
A lot of people like to remain anonymous.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Branson. Anyways, let's sign out because we gotta go to the gym, y'all. So sign us out.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do that. Stay up to date with all the videos that we're going to be posting with that notification bell. Like, send it to a friend, all that good stuff. We love having you here and we love being here with you. Thank you for tuning into this Am I the Asshole video. I hope you were entertained and appreciated our input.
Yeah, this is what we dropped 2 videos last week. This is our first one this week, and we have another one coming for you by the end of this week. So, yeah. And the last Am I the Asshole got a couple of views, so it seems to be moving. You all seem to like it, to be liking it. So we only want to give you all what you love, and obviously be authentic to ourselves. So the vlogs are moving a little slow, but like we love being creative and we love doing it, but we also want to be, I guess, like
interactive.
Yeah.
But yeah, we totally appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed our second video like this. And until next time, stay safe, be blessed, drink your water, and
Don't be a Branson. Peace out, y'all.
peace.